So in the last edition we looked at why Christians might explain that we suffer, but that doesn't really necessarily deal with the problem of how do we cope with suffering at all. Well, one way of dealing with the problem of evil and suffering is just to say that it's part of God's purpose which we can't be understood by humans. But perhaps that might need a little bit more explanation. At the time of the New Testament, people believed that illness and suffering were punishments for sins that people had committed, and they also believed they were being punished for the original sin of Adam and Eve. Now, Christianity teaches that God took human form and came to earth as Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus gives his life by dying on the cross, and because he was innocent of any sin and chose to die for others, the sins of humans were forgiven. Because of Jesus, Christians believe that God also shared in human suffering, in his crucifixion. When they're suffering, many Christians pray to God, either alone or as a community, to help them or to give them strength. Christians accept that God doesn't always answer prayers in the way that they would like him to, but that God chooses the best for them. An example of faith taking away the suffering of sin is found in Matthew's Gospel, where Jesus heals a paralysed man. "Take heart, son, your sins are forgiven." There's a quote there from Matthew's Gospel. Again, the key people, Adam and Eve, the first man and woman who introduced the original sin into the world, Jesus, who healed people with miracles, and someone Christians pray to because, as the Son of God, shared in their suffering when he was on earth. And, well, they're your key figures, really. Prayer. That's one of the key things that Christians are coping with sufferings. Christians believe that God answers prayers, but not always in the way they hope. Bear that in mind. Right, good luck. See you in the next one.